about the example of the Edison quick oil and lube, right? So it shows about the number of cars arriving at the Edison quick oil and lube during the last 200 hours of the operations, which use a single waiting line and is observed to be as following.
俺のスタイル
So we have the number of car arriving, yes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
俺のスタイル
9 or more, right? And frequencies. And also the estimated revenue for car arrivals show in the table. Okay. So the company also estimates that there is 60% chance the revenue is received by cash and another 40% is by credit card. So note that they want us to use this random number. Okay. The first set is for the carrier distribution. The second set is for the payment method. Right? And then they ask us to answer the following question. Question 1 to determine the property distribution to the random number interval for carrier and the payment method. The second one is the question B is to simulate 10-hour carrier and compute the average number of carrier per hour as well as determine the estimated average revenue for the Edison quick oil lube. How much revenue can get from cash? So okay, in this case, we can see that just the same as a previous example, right? So we're gonna have like the car arrival, right? We have car arrival. It has 3 or less, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or more. We know about the frequency. This one 0. So firstly, we can see that we have the frequency, and if we had to sum up here, we're gonna have 200 number. So then you can develop the property distribution for car hour. Since the first one frequency is 0, so property is gonna be 0. This one we have 0.05, 0.15, 0.35, 0.25, 0.20, and this one 0. How about the cumulative property distribution? We have 0, 0.05, 0.20, 0.55, 1. But since actually, if we look at this, look at the frequency, there is no car 3 or less and 9 or more, right? So actually, it's just try to make up more hot field, but actually we are not using 3 or less and 9 or more because there's no frequency. So it means we just can cut it off actually. So if I'm using Rn1 to be the random number interval for car arrival, right? The first one we don't have it, and the last one we don't have it because actually we don't have any information in the past, right? There is no frequency on 3 or less or 9 or more, so we can cut it off. So in this case, we have 01 to 05, 06 to 20, 21 to 55, 56 to 80, and 80 to 100. That belong to just 4 to 9 and 4 to 8. So the first 3 or less and the last one 9 or more is actually we are not using it because there is no frequency to show. It just try to encoding in the table to make us more confused for this. So what next after we talk about the color level? Next one is about the payment method, right? The payment method. So we're gonna do like that. We have the table for the payment method, right? So we're gonna have the payment. Again, we have cash, and we have credit card. Oh, one more thing, I forget. So for the previous example, if you're using not buy first and then followed by buy, it's okay. So you can switch everything. So the property may be changed, but the result from the interval will not change. Right? Because if you're using not buy first and then followed by buy, you're gonna have 01 to 40 for not buy. That's represent 40%. 41 to 100 to be buy. So just 60% is okay, right? That's the same thing. So in this case, let's say that we have cash and credit card. We know about the probability that we estimate. The first one is 60% and the second one is 40%. Again, we do the cumulative probability distribution. We're gonna have pricing and 1. So if I use I and 2 to be the random virtual for the payment method, we're gonna have 01 to 60 and 61 to 00. So then we try to simulate. So then we're gonna have car. This one. So okay, since the information is tell you based on past 200 hours, right? So let's start with the new one, our number 1. So then we have time 1. We have 52. 52 is belong to 21 to 55 range. So number of car level. Number of car level is 6. And if the car level is 6, we can estimate the revenue, right, from the table number 2. That we can get 150. And then we would like to know this is received from cash or credit card. So then we have the second set of the number to be 06 to see about the payment method. So 06 is paid by cash. Nothing much. This is very simple for the first 2 example. Next one is again 37. 37 is in the same range. The next one is 50. 63 you have paid by card. The third hour 82. 82 is the range of 80 to 100. So we have number of car of 8. So the revenue is going to be 200. next from 63 is 57. 57 is pay by cash. The 4 hours, we have 69 to be RN1. 69 is rent of 56 to 80, so number per hour is 7. So we can estimate revenue 175, and then we have O2 to be the RN2. Then we still receive by cash. Our number 5 is 98. So from 98 is in the rate of 80 to 100, so per hour still 8. We have 200 as the revenue. Next one is 94, so we pay by card. Our number 6 is 96, still 8, still getting 200. And you have 52 is paid by cash. And number 7, 33. 33 is the rate of 21 to 55. So we have 6. So the revenue is 150, right? And the next one is 69, still getting using card. And then you have 50. 50 in still 6, 150, and 33 paid by cash. Number 9, 88, 8, 200, 32 paid by cash. And the last one, 90, 38, and 80, 30, so it's paid by cash. So this example is nothing much, but the key thing is that if you have no frequency, so it means that in the past there is not occurred. So just cut it off. So the case of 3 or less and 9 or more, right? We don't have it. And if you try the answers, so in this case, every number of carnival, so you can do the summation here. 1, 2, 3. So you have so we have 31. So therefore the average is and the next one is about the average revenue, right? So then we have 150. So then average revenue is 177.5. And so getting from cash go to this is a getting from cash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have 150 plus 200 plus 175 plus 200 plus 150 plus 200 plus 200. Getting from cash go to 1 to 75. Okay. So for the next example, we're gonna see how can we apply multicolor simulation to the queuing problem. Right, queuing. It's not that exactly queue, but it's just involve all the time arrival and let's see. So in this case, this is about the example number 2. So then we can go to the next example. Okay, it's about example of Dr. Mark Ginsburg, right? He's a practice dentistry and he practiced dentistry in the he's dentist, right? And practiced dentistry in Columbia, Missouri. He's trying hard to schedule the appointment so that the patients do not have to wait beyond the appointment time. So this April 22nd, 2008 schedule is shown down in the following table. So we have scheduled appointment, we have scheduled time, we have expected time needed in minute. Information said that unfortunately not every patient arrive exactly on schedule and expected time to examine the patient are just that expected. So some examination take longer than expected and some take less time, right? So he's dictate the following information, such that 20% of the time, let's see, the patient will be 20 minutes early, 10%, 10 minutes early, 40% they're going to be on time, 25% 10 minutes late, 5% 20 minutes late. He further estimated that about exam time, 50% he will finish in 20% less time than expected, 50% equal to expected time, 25% equal to 20% more time than expected, and 10% of the time he will finish in 40% more time than expected. So Dr. Ginsburg has to leave at 12:15 on that day to catch a flight, go to New York. So assuming that he is ready to start work at 9:30 in the morning. So and all his patients are treated in order of their scheduled exam, right? So they need to wait, right? If they are not in their turn, right? So this is all exams, you can see. So the first one, develop the random number interval for arrival time and exam time distribution. And question B will not be able to make a flight. So develop multicolor simulation for this problem. So in this case, if we can do, we're gonna have we're gonna have what time? For that time we have 20 minutes early, 10 minutes early, on time, 10 minutes late, and 20 minutes late. So we are known for the property. This one is 0.2 because it's 20%. So 10% 0.1, 40% for on time, 25% for 10 minutes late, and 5% for 20 minutes late. So then we do the cumulative property distribution. We're gonna have 0.2, 0.3, 0.7, 0.95, and 1. If using IN1, okay, if using IN1 to be the random number 12 for arrival time, I'm gonna have 01 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 70, 71 to 95, and 96 to 100. So in this case, we also have another uncontrollable, right? That would be exam time. Exam time. Exam time we have like the 20% less time than expected. We go to the expected time. 20% more time than expected. So 40% more time than expected. So we know about the probability. Right. First one is 15%. And then 50% can be equal to the expected time. 25% and 10%. Then we do the same way. Calculate cumulative probability distribution. And I see 5 here, 0.91. And for sure that if we have Rn2 to be the random number 2 for exam time, we have 01 to 15, 16 to 65, 66 to 90, 91 to 100. So then in this case, I'm gonna simulate, right? The simulation for this problem for each patient. So we have 8 persons, right? So we have like the first one, I'm gonna using A, B, C, D, E for represent the name, right? Because using the 4 letter, well, it's gonna be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. First one is Adam or A. So we then try to find the number for Rn1 first. Rn1 is 52. Based on the information that they gave us, 52. 52 in the range of 31 to 70. So Adam is arrived on time. To arrival time, in this case is he has an appointment 9:30. And Dr. Ginsburg start working at 9:30 as well, right? So start time in this case will be 9:30 as well. Then we need to estimate the exam time. So the next one is 06. For the exam time, 06 is in the range of 01 to 15. So exam time in this case, it is 20% less time than expected. So Adam expect to have the exam time 15 minutes. 20% of 15 minutes is 3 minutes. So then it's been that Adam using the time for from the doctor is just 12 minutes. So then we have finished time. is 9:42. We don't have any waiting time. Brown. The number is 37. 37 is the range of 31 to 70. Brown's arrive on time. So arrive at 9:45. The doctor finished with Adam at 9:42, so then Brown can start at 9:45. So the next number is 63. 63, the range of 16 to 65 or is belong to expected time. So Brown is expect to have 20 minutes. So then it's gonna finish time is 10:05 a.m. No waiting. The question is the next person is comfort, right? So random number for one is 82. 82 in the range of 71 to 95, so it's 10 minutes left. Comfort have appointment at 10:15, so it means that he come at 10:25. So he can start at 10:25 as well because doctor finishes Brown at 10:05. And then we can have 57 at the random number interval for random number 2. 57. So from 57 in the range of 16 to 65, so it's equal to expected time is about 15 minutes. So finish at 10:40. No waiting. The next one is Danone. Danone number is 69. 69. 69 is the range of 31 to 70, so it's equal to on time. So Danone is right at 10:30. Here's the thing, so Danone arrived at 10:30, but the doctor finished with Comfort at 10:40, right? So it means that Danone can start at 10:40. And the next number is 42. And the time, what exact time is 20% less time than expected. Danone expect to have 10 minutes to 20% is 2 minutes, so using just 8 minutes. So finish at 10:48. And waiting time is 10 minutes. Is 98. 98 is 20 minutes late. So arrive at 11:05. So can start at 11:05. For the IN2, 40% more time than expected. So only at 30, 40% is too much. So we have 42 minutes. So we get at 11:47. No waiting. And then fringe is 96. Again, 20 minutes late. Pin count is 11:35. So you can start at 11:47 because doctor finished reach early at 11:47. This one, IN2 is 52. 52 in the range of 16 to 65 to equal to expected time. So thing gonna have like a 15 minutes. So finish at 12 or 2 p.m. and waiting 12 minutes. And right now, it's 33. 33 is belong to 31 to 77, so it's close to on time. So Graham on at 11:30, but it can start at 12 or 2. Next one is 69 for I2. And again, it belongs to 66 to 90, 20% more time than expected. Graham is 20 to 20% is the 4. You have 24 minutes. So finish at 12, 26. Waiting 32 minutes. And the last one, Ingo, is 50. 50 is in the range of 30 to 70 is on time. It's at 11:45, so it can start at 12:26. And this will have 33 for I2. 33 is belong to 16 to 65 is equal to expected time. About 15 minutes. So finish at 12:41. Waiting at 15:41 minutes. Okay, so in this case we can see that actually the Dr. Ginsburg's gonna miss one, right? Because he will finish at 12:41 p.m. So that later than 12:15, the time that he's scheduled to go to New York, right? So he cannot make it. And so this is another example. So if they ask us to find the average waiting time, you can just sum of them, right? The last column and divide it by 8. So we have 8 versions. Average arrival time, average exam time, you can do it. Okay, the last one is about the profit and loss problem. So let's see the last one.
Wonderful. I also prefer.
In this example, we have the demand for ice cream. For BDN Co. company, the new cream, especially store in Japanese Square, right? They try to produce the first ice cream of Delhi. And the demand is depending on the weather in the neighborhood of the campus of university. So the weather could be hot or warm with the property of 0.6 and 0.4. The distribution of the demand for each type of the weather is shown on the table. And the company produces ice cream 1,200 scoops per day. The profit per scoop so is $0.8. Loss from unsold scoop is $0.2, and cost of uncertified demand is $1.2 per scoop. So simulate 10 days using Monte Carlo simulation to determine that whether the company will get profit or not from their business. If yes, how much, right? So in this case, if you look at the problem, actually we have the two variables. First one is for sure about the weather, right? We don't know the weather gonna hot or warm. And the second one is about the demand. Even though we have the demand for hot day and warm day, but it's the same variable, the same one. So it's demand. So we're gonna use this only one random number set for the demand. But we're gonna look in the different table based on the weather. Right? So in this case, if we need to do that, we're gonna have the first variable. bidding. Multiply 6 by 4. The quantity distribution is going to be 5, 6, and 1. And again, I run 3 random virtual of weathers. There's 1 to 60, 61 to 100. And we also have the demand. Okay, we have demand on hot day. 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. No property, 1, 3, 6. So then the property distribution is here, 1, 4. So I2 to be the random number interval for demand. Now for 1 to 10, 11 to 40, 41 to 100. We shall have another one. It's small demand for warm day. The demand for warm day. And again, it's 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. We know about the quality distribution. It's 0.2, 0.4, and 0.4. So then we do cumulative things. So we still are in 2, got the same variable, but we just look in another table. So we have 01 to 20, 21 to 60, 61 to 100. So then we're gonna do the similar 10 days. So day 1. We need to select the weather first. 57. 57 is the weather 01 to 60. The weather is hot. And then we do for the demand. First one is 07. Look at the hot day. 07 is belong to 1,000. So we have demand 1,000. You have demand 1,000, but you produce 1,200 each day. So then you can sold 1,000, right? But you have unsold 200. For day 2 is 17. 17 is still in the range of 01 to 60, is still hot day. And then 60 for night 2. 60 demand is 1,500. So then you can sell 1,200. You don't have unsold, but you have uncertified. Certified 300. Then 3. The next one is 36. Still hot. 77, still 1,500. This. And Day 4, 72. 72 is warm day. And we have 49. Demand is 1,200, so you can sell 1,200. You don't have unsold, you don't have uncertified. Day 5 is 85. 85 still warm day. So the next one is 76. You have demand 1,500. You can sell 1,200. And you have uncertified 300. The 6 is 31. 31 is hot day. And 2 is 95, still 100. 1,500. The 7 is 44. 44 still hot day. And then you have 51. 51 so 1,500. 6. The 8. 30. Still hot day. 16. We have 1,200 at the demand, so you can sell 1,200. No, 35. Then 26, still hot day. Next one is 14. You can still 1,200. You can sell 1,200. Don't have any unsold, uncertified. That's it. Go down. Still hot day. And to 85. So 85 is the rate of one of the rate of 41. So demand still 1,500. So you can sell 1,200. So then what we have here is about sorry for this. It's about 1,800. So then I think it's called $48 because this is tied with revenue, then we may ask for how much sold, and then we may ask for the uncertified. Not this one, I think. Sorry. The cost is what 5 2, sorry. This one is 5 2. So then we have 7 to 4. So still make the profit. The rest of things you're getting some idea, right? So this depends on the problem. So actually is using common sense, I think, for the tool, but you need to know that we can notice the variable from the information, right? Information is going to tell you how can we estimate the probabilities. It's going to tell about the probability or tell about the frequency, so that you can know how many variables that you have. Okay. In the exam, I will not tell the random number for you. You need to specific use chosen by your own, but you need to write out to show me. So you have, let's say, 44 students, you have 44 patterns. So okay, so if we give the number for you, I'm okay. I have like same pattern, but maybe you are not things, right? So let's do 2 things. Okay, this is the simulation. So you can do the case study. The case study is not much for using the computer, but you can use this. Maybe you can using hand simulation. That's okay. Not that it's not that a lot. We have 2 cases. First against. So please take a look. So okay, the rest time we have the presentation, right? That's for this one.
Jay, you presenting?
No.
You're up. You didn't prepare? Your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's his presentation, right? Why are you so boring, guy?
The reason why I didn't get upset. Do you know the reason why?
Seems fun. Can I do this?
You can ask people. She's the leader.
Do you know the reason why I didn't get upset? I saw the criteria.
It's my biggest mistake.
I know. I saw the criteria. It was for the client.
Hello, so Outlook will present the case of New England Foundry. So New England Foundry is a company that manufactures stove, wood stove, and recently they get high demand and very successful, especially for their Model 3. So the company decided to build a new factory. And this is the overview of the new factory layout for the Model 3. So each square represents the room for each department. Okay, so the process will start from the pattern shop, and then the molder will use the pattern to molding using special sand, and then after finish molding, they will send to casting, and then send to cleaning, grinding, and preparation, and after finish, they will send to storage and shipping. Okay, so the case want you to focus in that room where pattern shop and maintenance department together. For maintenance department, mainly used by people from casting department, and for pattern shop, will used by the molder, sand molder. So in the room, they will have the last counter and provide the service by 2 staff, Peter and Bob. And Peter and Bob together, they can serve total 10 people per hour. And on average, 4 people from casting department and 3 people from molding department will arrive at the counter randomly. And they will form the single line. Bob and Peter will provide the service at first come, first serve. Because of the location, people from casting department will need to travel 3 minutes to the room, while molding only use 1 minute. So the management think that this layout may not be the best layout yet, so they consider the new layout for the factory. And next we will calculate and use information to answer the question and compare the current layout and new layout.
Okay, for existing layout, we use PM2 model to solve the problem because animals follow a boson distribution and service time follow an exponential distribution, and we have two people, Peter and Bob, to be the server right now. For the calculation part, annual rate or lambda is 7, service rate or mu is 5, number of servers or S is 2, and you can see is average service rate exceeds average which match the model assumption. And the number in the table we get from the formula of MM2 model, and in summarized, average time person spent in the system is around 23.5 minutes. For the round trip, from the case, it takes an average of 3 minutes from casting department and 1 minute from molding department to the pattern and maintenance room. So for the round trip, we multiply by 2, and total spending time from casting department is 29.5 minutes, and from molding department is 25.5 minutes, respectively. Okay, let's move to the new factory layout. After George decided to make some change, the maintenance shop and pattern shop are separated. Yes. The advantages of this change is that it would take people from casting department only 1 minute instead of 3 to get the new maintenance room. And meanwhile, the time from molding to the pattern shop would be unchanged. Moreover, improving this layout would allow Bob to serve 6 people from the casting department per hour and allow Peter to serve 7 people from the molding shop per hour.
Okay, now let's look on the calculation of the new workflow tree factory layout. As we see, after calculating the average time for per person spending in the system is around 30 minutes for this new one for casting department, and round typical day spending from maintenance room forward and back will be around 2 minutes. So the total spending time is 32 minutes. If we comparing to the old layout, which is 29.5 minutes, the travel round trip is increased by 2.5 minutes. Next is for the molding department. The average time person spent in the system is around 15 minutes, and the round trip spending time from maintenance room is 2 minutes. So the total spending time is equal to 17 minutes. And if we compare to the old layout, the travel round trip is decreased by 7.5 minutes. Next, let's see the cost analysis. The casting personnel are paid 9.5 per hour, and the molding personnel are paid 11.75 per hour. The cost saving with the new facility layout can be calculated, as you can see. For casting department, since we spend more time, so there will be minute loss per tip around 2.5 minutes. And the cost of minute loss to the company is equal to $0.39, as you can see. And for molding department, they have decreased the time, so we save the minute per tip by 8.5 minutes, and then the cost of minute saved to the company is equal to 1.66. So the net saving is equal to 1.27 per trip. So in summary, if total round trip of employee from casting department and employee from molding department to go to the maintenance room are equal, the total cost will decrease by $1.7 per trip. However, we cannot make exact decision whether the company should change the layout or not due to the lack of information about the cost of changing the layout. So our suggestion is that if the cost is lower than the saving cost in the long term, the company should change the layout to gain more profit. Thank you.
So we go using like a round trip, right? To
Correct.
Which one is correct?
Ours is more correct than theirs.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we will talk about the pantry shopper case study. Okay, let's start with the case overview. Pantry shopper is a supermarket in Philadelphia where competition among supermarkets is very fierce. So, the new store manager felt that by providing shopper with faster, more efficient service, she might be able to improve the competitive position and market share. So they collect data and her stock on several consecutive Saturday morning for a major redesign. Here is what she gets. Customer arrive at the checkout at a rate of approximately 100 per hour. Fully 20% of the customers had 10 items or less. Customer with 10 items or less took about 2 minutes to serve on average. Customers with more than 10 items took about 4 minutes to process. So best expect service time to improve when universal price for leader are installed in the new design. This case is about finding the most efficient usage of checkout system space in the supermarket, which means deciding how many checkout lanes are necessary. We use customer waiting time as our measure as shoppers would be relaxed when it is their turn. So the MMS model is used in this case. There are two types of system. First, express lane for 10 items or less, and second, regular lanes for more than 10 items. First, we try to find the minimum number of lanes required for each system. Okay. From what we get, average arrival rate for express lane is 20 customers per hour, and for regular lanes is 80 customers per hour, and average service rate for express lane is 30 customers per hour, and for regular lane is 15 customers per hour. So minimum lane required for express lane is 1 lane, and for regular lane is 6 lanes. Then we run QM to compare average waiting time between different number of lanes, assuming that all customers go into the proper lane. And we get the following average waiting time for each system. For the express lane with one server, average waiting time is 4 minutes. And for the express lane with 2 servers, average waiting time is 0.25 minutes. And for regular lane with 6 servers is 4.78 minutes. 28 minutes. And for the regular lane with 7 servers is 0.98 minutes. And then we try different combination of number of express lane and regular lane. And from the table, we think that the most appropriate combination would be 1 express lane and 7 regular lane, which the average waiting time of 1.59 minutes. Even though the 2 express lane and 7 regular lane combinations give a shorter waiting time, but in this case, we also consider the efficiency of space usage. The 2-7 split has waiting time only 0.75 minutes shorter than the 1-7 split. So adding 1 more lane might not be worth. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's the same as yours. Same. 100% correct. Oh, one thing they did wrong, we did right. I did right, I don't know.
Castle Road Hotel recommendation. Hi. Number one booking.com.
Number 4.
Yeah, okay, number 4. Hi, Seven. But why not?
I'm gonna ask this week. I have to go to a hotel this week, so I'll ask if we have increase in booking from Korea.
I think that the picture is not enough.
Is for Siri hostel or hostel? Siri Heritage or Heritage. Oh, I will go to Heritage.
Which means that the content is very good enough.
Your content is good, but my content is not.
The reason why I got ranked every day is that the content is enough. But I think that the problem is in OTA. So something on OTA is not enough.
I the last time I went, we had 100% occupancy. 100%.
100%.
Occupancy. Occupancy. 100%.
Wow.
Full.
Wow. Which channel you usually like?
Number 1 channel, Booking.com.
Booking.com. It's usually European, right?
Huh?
So it's usually for
European, yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, European. French, German.
Okay.
Okay. So you're saying the activity will inform the strategy? What's your question? This is so we need to finish by this weekend.
So much
Yeah.
I think so because thisไฮไลท์คือข้อที่มันแต่ว่าเช้ายังไม่เสร็จก่อนเพราะว่าเนี่ยไม่แน่ใจว่าที่มันอะไรไม่รู้ที่จะโดนว่ามันก็มีปัญหาที่มันต้องทำชาติใช้แต่ว่าเราแบบว่าแต่ว่ามันดี
If we're going to change this to be one first, why we need to?
Because Ming is the one who is in the it will be faster as well if it's
What's Min doing now?
Ming ทำงาน
Okay. Today, right now. What is she eating? I want to know.
Actually that is the long
Sorry, okay, you're doing so good. You're doing so good.
the long one is who know the question the most and Min who know the content the most. And cake and milk is like vibing before. And then I found out that this one
Have to go.
this one the activity based something.
Hana.
อันนี้บอกว่าอันนี้จริงๆมันต้องเสร็จทั้งหมดเป็นแล้วทั้งหมดจะเขียนได้ใช่ตอนแรกเราเป็นทีมซึ่งข้อที่24ต้องเสร็จก่อนข้อที่เท่าไหร่ข้อไม่เฉพาะ E นะเฉพาะ E ซึ่งต้องเสร็จก่อนข้อนี้แต่ก็เลย เลยคิดว่าไม่งั้นอ่ะพอไปทำอีกมาทำก็นานก่อนแล้ววันนี้ให้เราไปช่วยได้ไหมเอางานไหมเรามีอีกว่าให้เรียกว่าชั่วโมงกว่า2 ชั่วโมงมีเบสบอลเซสชั่นแล้วสมุดเรานั่งด้วยกันแล้วก็แบบ
Okay, okay. Because it has to be done quickly. Maybe Min can be in both groups. Okay, so Min can also ask me and Min can join together on this. So just add Min on number 8. And this weekend we do number 8.
นี่เลยพี่ก็
พอต่อให้ผมอยากเลือก
คือเป็น
But
มี
he has everything for you.
มีเจพี่ฝ้ายไม่งั้นก็
Min and Jake ก็ได้
มินกับเจค and then ฝ้ายไปช่วยข้างบนได้ไหมถ้ามินกับเจค
Then we still do this. 5 ไม่ดอก
อ๋อใช่ใช่ไม่เขาหมายถึงว่ามินกับเจคทำ
And anyone who want to volunteer join.
แล้วพี่ฝ้ายทำอันนี้พี่ฝ้ายจะทำอันนี้เองใช่ไหมมันเป็นไรเจคอยากทำแล้วในวันที่
Hi.
Oh,
Oh, see if you
แรก
can.
ของมุกเชื่อจะถึงว่า
payroll still there.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna work. But then we'll make you free this weekend.
ไม่ได้มีที่เป็นฟรีไหมฟรีแต่อาจจะต้องมีการ
I don't know. Anyway, I'll
ฟรี
ask
ฟอร์
them.
เอาไว้ก่อนหรือไม่งั้นอ่ะเอามิ้นออกจากแอนโนหมดอาทิตย์นี้ไปเลยเอามิ้นออกก่อนแค่2 วันแล้วก็ช่วยกันอยู่นะเราไปเรียนหรอ
You know what? It's over.
เราอยู่กันทุกการ
อะไรนะ We have to use it ด้วยกันตลอด
เราอยู่ด้วยกันทุกการ
เราเคยอยู่กันเราอยู่ด้วยกันทุกงานเราก็ทำด้วยกันก็ได้น่าจะเสร็จแล้วให้มิ้นมาทำอันนี้เลยแหละที่เหลือก็ให้มิ้นมาทำอันนี้แล้วก็เดี๋ยวนะเดี๋ยวเราอยากอธิบายสตรัคเจอร์อื่นด้วยว่าคนอื่นคิดยังไงอธิบายว่ามายืนฟังมันจะมีอันสุดท้ายค่ะที่เป็นข้อเหมือนข้อ20รอบเพลงให้ผ่านกับแต่ว่ามันจะต้องรอทุกอย่างเสร็จถึงจะทำได้เลยคิดว่าจริงๆข้อนี้มันควรจะเป็นเหมือนแบบทุกอย่างเสร็จแล้วเราคนที่ทำ operating กับ trade อะไรเนี่ยอธิบายให้2 คนนี้ฟังว่ามันต้องมีอะไรบ้างใช่ก็คือเหมือนเดิมแต่เขาจะต้องทำเหมือนแบบมีไทม์มีสุดท้ายจะเป็นโไม่อันสุดท้ายช่วยกันทำแบบคนก็มีเจคทำแต่ว่านี่เพราะว่าเราคิดว่าตอนแรกเขาพิมพ์ในข้อเลขไปใช่ไหมทั้งหมดเลยเราก็เลยคิดว่าไม่แต่ว่าที่เค้กหมายถึงนะคือพอข้อเลขเสร็จแล้วมันเสร็จใช่เลขมันเสร็จเพราะฉะนั้นเหมือนกับว่าตอนคือพอเขาเสร็จเลขนั้นเลขมันต้องเสร็จก่อนของมันใช่ป่ะมันก็รอมันถึงว่าใช่ป่ะเราเข้าใจได้ใช่แล้วก็ข้อข้างล่างอ่ะเนื่องจากว่าอาสนกกับอุป้าอาจจะแบบยากหน่อยการสื่อภาษาไทยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราเลยเอาเขามาไว้ข้อสุดท้ายที่มันเป็นเหมือน recommendation เหมือน recommendation ว่าแบบโอเค study ต่อไปทำยังไงเพราะมันต้องมี propose new strategy whatever อะไรประมาณนี้เราเลยคิดว่าอาจจะต้องใช้แบบให้ทุกคนอ่ะช่วยอธิบายให้ฟังและให้เขาเขียนมีเด็กสตาร์ยากไหมอ๋อเพราะมันไม่สามารถเสร็จก่อนทุกข้อได้แล้วข้อที่เหลือต้องใช้คนที่แบบอ่านภาษาไทยได้
Which question is that one for?
Generating strategy and alternatives and providing detail and plan for each strategy post มันต้องต่อกันคิดว่ามันก็ไม่ง่ายอะ project conclusion นี่คือยังไง project conclusion เท่าที่คุยกับพี่บุ๋มคิดว่ามันเป็นการ conclude ว่า project เช่นแบบ AS มี strategy ยังไงแบบมันสามารถซึ่งรอบสุดท้ายถึงจะเพราะซึ่งคนที่เขียนนะต้องรู้หมดเลยนะทุกคนเขาเข้าใจไม่มีข้อนั้นไม่มีมันไม่มีใครรู้ว่าข้อนี้มันคือที่ตอนแรกที่บางอะไรนะเพราะว่าเราคิดว่าคนอื่นก็ขับมาสติเต็มแล้วแหละแต่ว่าถ้ามูฟอย่างเมื่อกี้ให้พี่ฟังได้ไหมเพราะว่าเอาข้อ E ออกแล้วตอนนี้พี่ฝ้ายเหลือตรงนี้ไงใช่ไหมจ้าคิดว่าไม่ใช่นักเรียนคิดเฉยก็ได้มันมีข้อเยอะกว่าเดิมมันมีข้อคิดตรง20คนนี้คือข้อมันเยอะกว่าเดิมเอางี้ว่าถ้าถามให้ทุกคนทำลายฟาวให้มันเป็นการเซ็นเราไม่ได้หมายถึงว่าเราไม่รู้มันต้อง เราเลยคิดว่ามันเขียนไม่เยอะเราคิดแค่ว่าโปรเจกต์
ไม่ก็ไม่มีทฤษ
strategy
ฎี
1 2 3
ไม่ได้มีทฤษฎีประกาศไม่ต้องเขียนก็แค่พอย
4ถ้าข้อไหนเราไม่มั่นใจเราถามจานได้เลยนะใครเหมือนว่าจะไม่เครียดอ่ะเดินถามจานเลยแล้วจานเขาก็จะบอกว่าเขาต้องการอะไร
ก็บอกหมดแล้วทำยังไง
เขาก็จะบอกไปเลยว่าทำอย่างนี้อย่างนี้อย่างนี้
Last time I wrote project conclusion, I just wrote some nonsense. It's not much. It's just basically summarize each of the questions.
I think you're gonna get an answer
But I think that each person who write the question, their own question, could do their own summary in one paragraph.
ก็ได้ and then
And then have one person to collect it
ให้
out.
เขาเขียนเหมือนเชื่อมให้มันเรื่องเดียวกันอะไรเงี้ย
One sentence, one
เพราะ
paragraph,
ว่า
one page.
แล้วมันจะมีข้อแบบนี้ด้วยเช่นแบบข้อแม่
I'm really into this project.
in what areas
Yeah.
ไม่เขียนไม่ยินคือถูกจริงข้อแบบมันจะมีข้อ3 ข้อที่มันแบบ
but you cleared your
learning อะข้อแบบ to doing this project things can be learned from this project suggestion for improving this project เราจะให้ที่ไหนคนเขียน
I have nothing.
คนเขียนแต่ว่าทุกคนอ่ะต้องทำเหมือนข้อ conclusion เขียนว่าแบบคนละ1 ข้ออ่ะแล้วก็ส่งให้เขาอ่ะแค่นั้นแค่ที่ไหนเขียนเป็นคนรวมคนรวมมันก็เรียบเรียงมันก็ต่อกันอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเขาเป็นสิ่งที่ได้จากอันนี้เหรอแบบพอแม่ in doing this project things can be learned from this project suggestion for improving this project
มีอันนี้ด้วยเหรอ
ใช่เราก็เลยคิดว่าเดี๋ยวเราอยากให้พี่แดงเขียนแต่ว่าทุกคนเขียนของตัวเองมาคนละ1 ประโยคแบบ
Yeah.
3 ข้อแบบพอแบ่ง1เอาให้แค่คนละ
อ๋อ
1
ก็คือ1 คำถาม 1 คำตอบ
ถาม1 คำตอบ
ก็คือคน
ของทุกคน
คนหนึ่งก็จะมี3 คำตอบ
แล้วก็พี่แดงบางคนเราไปอ่านแล้วก็แบบ
Yeah.
เหมือนอันไหนเหมือน
เรียบเรียงให้
รวมกันอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
So now maybe you can get a list of people and you can remind everyone, hey, any problems that you had, add it in. And then if you have to jick everyone now, I'm jicking you to jick them now. So
ใช่
okay.
That's very jigging going
Yeah.
on
Jiggy, getting jiggy with it.
แปลว่าทำไมเราเปลี่ยนข้อนี้ต้องเสร็จก่อน
Tomorrow night, you want to play
ไม่
karaoke?
ต้องเสร็จก่อนเพราะว่ามันไม่มีข้ออื่นที่ต้องใช้
play karaoke maybe go to
มันมีข้อที่ต้องใช้แต่ว่ามันใช้แบบไม่ได้เป็น foundation ของคำตอบอะมันใช้เพื่อแค่แบบ relate เป็น context ของคำตอบอะไรที่สะดวกโอเค
แต่เราว่ามันต้องเป็นอย่างนั้นแหละเพราะว่าคือหลักๆเลยของไอ้อันเนี้ยของเบลมันเหมือนพอมันไม่ต่อกัน
คือเราว่า2 คนเนี้ยอาจจะลำบากหน่อยเพราะว่าต้องทำตอนลีดทางมันสั้นเราอ่ะพีเซสวันที่29 โนเวมเบอร์สุดป่ะอันนี้ลบก่อนนะเพราะว่าเราคุยกันใหม่
What is it? 29 November. 29.
อะไรเนี่ยเราพิเศษวันนี้เราก็คิดว่าเราอยากให้ใจเราเพราะเราอยากให้เสร็จอาทิตย์นี้ด้วยซ้ำ
no revision possible
ก็เราว่า impossible แต่ไปก่อน
Give some, seriously, change 23 to 24.
ใช่ไม่เพราะว่า if you just set a realistic one like and then stick to it
How many times do we have for presentation?
1.
ชั่วโมง
But only 3 hours.
3 hours, 1 time, so we can speed it up.
3 hours one time with everybody as well
It probably
ใช่
should be.
with everybody
so it's gonna be like it's not gonna be long I think it's gonna be like half an hour presentation each
Each.
ไม่อีจ้ะ
Megatron, it's gonna be like 10 minutes.
ใช่จริง
We have
เราเนี่ยกัง
15
วล
people,
ว่า
3
2 คน
hours.
มันทำตอนลีดทางสั้นเลยเพราะฉะนั้นทุกเซสชั่นต้องเสร็จก่อนป่ะ
but other groups
นี่
present
2
on
แบบ
that
นี่
No,
2
no,
เบร
no.
กมาก
It's different 3 weeks.
ฮะ
Get jiggy with it.
เรียนรู้เพราะว่า2 คนนี้จะทำตอนลีดทาง
you ใส่อันนี้คือเป็นก่อน presentation
Wait, press back.
ทั้งคู่เลย
I want you to look like this next time, huh?
เขาต้องหาข้อมูลเยอะปะ
Let's see the video. What's she
เขา
gonna
ต้องหา
do?
ข้อมูลเยอะ
Oh, I see. Oh, foundation. Is it?
No it's oil serum
What does it do?
นั่นใช่ปะ
for bright your skin
Oh boy.
moisture your
That's the one I bought for
ส
you.
วยขึ้น
Brightening. What was it called? Serum.
อยากสวยขึ้นอีกตัว
So, what is it called? something fake.
1,150 บาท
You know you told me
สวยอะไร
Last time I didn't buy she paid me back. Yeah, what was it again? Some fake name, no? Activating serum.
First activating serum
What the hell
helps
is that?
purify your skin absorb another step.
But she never put another step on.
No step she has a lot of step that me จริง and then before her go to bed
Very steps.
White face. Actually, next
It's gonna be like slippery. It's gonna be like oil spill, no? But then you didn't put makeup on in the morning, right? Ah, see, that's a good strategy. Put up so much like.
One strategy just.
เส้นยักษ์
Senjaku.
ถ้าให้เก๋กับเมย์ไปทำทำอะไรเราทำเรื่องได้ไหมวันติได้เนาะ
Do you?
Not to. Well, that yeah.
Not so much.
just communication with him
เราก็กำหนดไปเลยว่าต้องส่ง
But just revise a little bit of
really you will
just numbers only. So I didn't put any before on.
maybe you
Who's it for?
you should add it before someone like
Not, yeah, it's not real.
exactly
จะเหลือแค่นี้
Oh, no, hang on, let's do
ไม่
1. 17.
because จริงๆแล้วเขาก็ใช้เวลาแค่2 คืน
I think 17, and I know it's inevitable that many people won't finish, so we have to use this day.
ก็ไม่อยู่กันอยู่ไปฟอร์สได้ไหมวะให้เสร็จได้ทันนะ
Oh, come on, you're gonna force
วัน
it.
ที่ 17 อ่ะแล้วยูช่วยวันที่ 17 เนี่ยคือต้องเจอกัน เพราะว่าทุกคนต้องเอา information ให้
Yeah, alright.
เพราะฉะนั้นบอกคนอื่นเลย there's no such a thing as actually having said that I'm not even here
ไปไหน
เราไม่อยู่
Yeah,
15
yeah, yeah, where are you
ไป
going?
ทำบุญที่อินเดีย
ว่าเดี๋ยวนะนั้นอัน
Wait,
นี้ก็
which
คือ
city?
he
Which
birthday
state?
นะ
เอาล้อ15 16
Which state?
he
Which state?
birthday and my wife birthday
Which part of
for your
it?
information I'm not available at all
งั้นแปลว่า
apparently it's like
ทุกอย่างต้องเสร็จวันนี้ว่าจะจองห้องอะไร
Oh, you're going to,
พุทธคยา
I need to focus
เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวเต็ม
Vrindava.
เดี๋ยวแนนจองแต่9 โมง
Does that sound right?
งั้นพวกคิวต้อง finish มันพูดไม่ได้ because this is
แน
only
นไป
one
เชียง
and you and Oppa will get our brief right in person today this day okay right? So you don't need to read through everything อ่ะพิเศษมากไป today
we did some form already
Why? Is this
every question except the one because your question right it has to have information from all the other parts and then you guys you would Oppa can come up with strategies
ย้ายได้ไหมย้ายมาเป็นวันนี้แทนได้ไหมเพราะว่าถ้าเสร็จวันนี้ก็มันจะเขาจะได้อย่างน้อยมีคืนวันละ20 สองเพราะว่าถ้าเสร็จวันนี้เขาไม่มีคืนอยู่วันนี้
เขามันจะไม่เขียนวันอื่นก็ได้
Buy the suitcase
คือ
and get
ถ้าตอนเนี้ย
in,
ถ้าเค้ก
and
แพ
get
ง
in
ว่าไม่
blue
มี
and
ใคร
see which
ทำ
one
งาน
you
เลยตรง
use.
เนี้ย
If blue, okay.
impossible
If pink,
ไม่เราหมายถึงว่าสมมติว่าทุกคนเริ่มทำเลยทุกคนมีอาทิตย์นี้มีอาทิตย์นี้พี่เขาจะปิดหัวข้อ
P1. What's his sport? What's his favorite sport? Soccer, right? Hey, it's quite cute, right? I think this is really cute Christmas set from Burley, UK.
ใช่อ่ะ
you mean your coffee right yeah